In this series, we're talking about how to choose a counselor. If you haven't watched the earlier episodes, you're going to want to go do that. So we're jumping right into the third thing to consider, which is, what is the counselor's training? With that, I mean, what's their degree? What's their license in? Are they a professional counselor? Are they a licensed social worker? Are they a psychiatrist? Are they a psychologist? Now, all those have some crossover, but each one has a different emphasis. And so when you look at evaluating, is my counselor effective? You want to be able to say, are they effective at the thing they are trained in? Not just, hey, I have this general idea of what counselors should do, and no matter who the person is in the mental health field, they should be able to do that. But what are they actually trained to do? You're assessing them based on their training. They may not be a counselor that sucks. Even if you have a current counselor, it may not be this person sucks. It may be that they're just really good at something other than what you're expecting them to be good at. For example, for me, I have a master's degree in clinical counseling. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I also have a PhD in counseling with an emphasis on training and supervision of counselors. What that means is my education trained me to be able to do direct work on behavioral and mental health issues with individuals, groups, couples, and families on a multitude of mental health issues, as well as some minimal training on working with career counseling and addictions counseling. My counseling includes covering a number of different methods of counseling and training in those methods of counseling, as well as early on in my training process, I was required to have my counseling observed and feedback given in order to assess my skills, develop my skills specifically for that in the room, person to person, deep dive counseling on mental health, behavioral health, relational health concerns. Now, when you're looking for a counselor, other professional counselors should have that similar background, a background that's focused on that deep dive into mental and behavioral and relational health. Now, some of you, it's very common, you're going to have a counselor who is a licensed social worker. Now, I'm going to give a description that social workers are going to hate, but essentially the difference you're getting is that a licensed professional counselor spent 2 years of training or of education, as well as their early training and any experience in those early years, doing a deep focused dive on the in-the-room counseling, emotional and behavioral health process. A social worker trained to provide services that impact the client's life outside the room. So they're very well trained at how to help a client successfully navigate the world. But their training on that one-on-one in the room deep dive is more limited than what a licensed professional counselor would have. So if you go to a social worker and you need help navigating your environment, they're awesome at that. But if you want a deep emotional dive into your interpersonal emotional challenges, you're going to want to lean towards a counselor. It's not to say that social workers aren't good counselors. It's just to say the focus of their training makes them excellent at something else. And so when you're evaluating a counselor, when you're choosing a counselor, it's being able to evaluate them on their background. What is the background? What is the training of this person that you are seeing? So that when you present to them, here are my goals. Here are my symptoms. Here's how we're going to measure success. You're measuring all that. You're putting all that in the context of what is this person actually trained to do? What is their primary skill set? What is the thing that they are awesome at, so that I'm measuring whether or not the thing that they are awesome at is the thing I need, or do I need something else? I'm measuring my success based on an honest understanding of what this person is trained for. Now, you're probably then saying, well, how do I know all that? I can't go find the person's transcripts and all that. Actually, every person who is doing professional counseling should have at the ready a document that will tell you what their training is, what their experience is, what they're qualified for. They should be able to hand you that at your request. So when you're looking for counselors, call up with a new counselor, and not just, hey, can I schedule an appointment? But hey, do you have a document that lets me know what you're trained in? It's not rude. It's just wanting to make sure that you step in knowing what to expect, and you step in giving the counselor the best chance to succeed, because you are not asking them to do something that they are not excellent at.